All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and with 2 months off, we don't see suppliers in November and December. We have seen a flurry of activity here in the store, and a lot of people in town. You know, it's January, and if you're a supplier traveling around the country, I'm going to tell you, if South Florida would be the first place on my list, I would be making plans to go to see customers. So we see a lot of our friends from California, and this visit was from a very small winery out on the Sonoma coast, and I'll never forget the first time the Peays came by to see me. They tasted me on their initial releases, and they said, Andrew, we want to get you involved. You're one of the key retailers down here, and so we have an allocation of 6 bottles of Chardonnay and 6 bottles of Pinot Noir for you. And I just laughed because what the hell am I going to do with 6 bottles of wine? But I did like the wine, I liked the Peays, and I said, you know what? I'll just drink it if we don't sell it. And, you know, the wines are very good. We sold most of them. The Syrahs, 06 vintage Syrahs, are still here in the store. And it's funny because the person coming by to show these wines said that was her favorite wine of all the wines the Peays have ever made. So we still have a few bottles. And they've come up with a second label, Sep, and this rosé from Hopkins Ranch from the Russian River. Really nice little rosé. Not a Saunier rosé. That's the way some people bleed off the juice to make the resulting wine more concentrated so they can make a better resulting wine, but you can't make a great rosé with a Saunier. You got to leave the juice in contact with the skins so it picks up all that flavor. And this wine's a very elegant rosé, 12.5% alcohol, pretty wild strawberry fruit, raspberry in there, very clean and fresh. Vanessa Wong is the winemaker here, and if these wines are a little reminiscent of Peter Michael, that could be why, because she was at Peter Michael for years. This wine really fresh and some pretty floral notes on the finish. A nice, refreshing rosé at $29. Maybe a little expensive for rosé, but very limited quantities on all of these wines. The Sonoma Coast Chardonnay up next, and these guys make 2 Chardonnays. This one is from, they get a little bit of source fruits in with their estate from Campbell Ranch, which is just a bit north of them. And they're located in Annapolis, which is just north of the Fort Ross Seaview AVA. So I don't think Annapolis has got any AVA yet, but they're working on that. And very unique when you get out there on the true Sonoma Coast. You're only 1-2 ridge lines out from the ocean, and it's very, very cool, very difficult to get the grapes right every year. This Chardonnay shows that cool character, that Meyer lemon citrus, just a hint of lightly toasted oak, a little cinnamon spice and graham cracker crust, really rich and creamy on the tongue with lots of that spice and that tongue-tingly minerality you get from this area through the finish. Most excellent juice at $49.50. I thought these wines were a little expensive when they came out, but it doesn't look like they've ever raised the price. The Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir 2012 up next, and they make 4 different single vineyard Pinots, 3 of them from their estate, and then 1 from Savoy in Anderson Valley, which they don't own. Very famous vineyard. A lot of people use Savoy fruit. This is the entry level. Again, they purchased a little fruit from Campbell Vineyard, and a really rich bouquet here. Violet floral notes, dark raspberry fruits, exotic spices, really well endowed, and very smooth and velvety on the tongue. One of the things we love about Pinot, the tannins, man. Just really sexy wine. And dark raspberry fruit, exotic spices, those pretty floral notes through the finish, and nice freshness, one of the things you get from that cooler climate out on the Sonoma Coast. Most excellent juice, and $49.50. Wow. Like I said, I thought these wines were a little expensive at first. Now they're looking like cheap compared to their competition out there on the Sonoma Coast. The Scallop shelf here, one of their single vineyards, they only make 550 cases of this wine. This is the most elegant, the prettiest of all their single vineyard Pinot Noirs, and they have lots of scallop shells in the vineyard, so thus the name Scallop Shelf. I guess there's a shelf also there, and pretty floral notes in this wine, really perfumed, and a slight briny character to the red and blackberry fruit, really aromatic bouquet of aromas, and wow, man, this wine is explosive on the tongue. Not big in size, but big in nuance. You don't have to be darkly colored to make a really lovely complex wine, and Pinot Noir, although a lot of times not dark in color, can make a really layered and long finished wine. This wine's got that seashell quality on the finish along with that raspberry coulis fruit. Very long layered finish, most excellent juice. Hey man, I like this wine just as much as the entry level wine. I like it when I like the less expensive wines just as much as the more expensive ones. And both of these wines got better on the second day, the sign of a truly well-made wine, as did the Chardonnay. And then just for, I guess, what the hell, we threw in a little Quincy here at the end of this tasting. So this is a white wine from the Loire Valley, which is 100% Sauvignon Blanc. This wine had that telltale gooseberry, cat pee on a gooseberry bush is what the English like to describe these wines, but also that briny character you get, that seashell kind of minerality the Loire Loire Valley wines have lime, citrus, really classic Loire Valley, a little bit of that fresh cut grass you get from these wines, and just really fresh and zesty on the tongue. Also, that grapefruit citrus cocktail and that briny seashell quality leaves the tongue just tingling and salivating for food. One of the qualities we love about great Sauvignon Blanc. For 26 bucks, the best value in the whole lineup here today. And that's what we had to drink with our friends from Peay. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off from the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.